Hey guys, I am here today. I just got back from vacation and I live in coastal South Carolina where it is very hot and humid. So my choice of vacation was dictated by weather. So we decided to go to Maine. We spent about 7 days in the Bar Harbor, Acadia area. There's lots of antique stores there, which is perfect for me. So while I was there, I did a lot of antique shopping. Not necessarily thrifting. I didn't go to a lot of thrift stores, but looking for thrifty prices for things to use in junk journals. So I am trying to unpack it, and I thought I'd just show you guys what I got while I go through it and kind of be surprised because it's been packed up in my car. So I got this pack of vintage quilt squares. Somebody's obviously taken a quilt, they're not just toppers, and gone through and cut it up. So those were a good price, so I went ahead and picked those up. And I have a lot of quilt squares, both from quilt toppers and from quilts. At some point I will probably try to put them in Etsy because I have more than I will ever use, but I can't help myself picking them up. I found this fabric sample that I thought was beautiful for fall color, so hopefully you're going to cover a journal with that. I got this fabric sample as well, like it's really cool. Let me see. I don't know, it was only like $3. It's a lot of fabric and it comes with all the stuff that was on it, and I thought the fabric itself was beautiful, so I've never seen one still like on the card like that, so I thought that was neat. I've been looking for some transfer stickers. You know, Johanna uses them in her journals all the time. These are big, so they're not like hers. Sorry for the plastic, guys. But this was a great deal, and there are a ton in here. I haven't even gone through them. I'm not sure I love that one as much, but yeah, that's beautiful. So I'm excited to use these. Oh yeah, these are awesome. This whole bag was only like $15, which I thought was amazing, versus prices I've seen on eBay when looking to buy them. So again, some of them are quite big. Those aren't too bad. I would love to get some smaller ones too, but I'll take what I can find, I suppose. Those are cute and smaller. Oh yeah, these are awesome. Super excited about these. Oh, that one's pretty. A lot of duplicates, which is okay. So I will probably end up putting some of these in Etsy as well. That one's pretty. Just because I won't use so many of them. But my idea of when they will go on Etsy, who knows. And then there is a pattern in there as well. So those are cool. I'm gonna make a bigger mess trying to show you guys what this is. I have no idea what these are. They were $1 a piece. They are little registration tags. Like, I don't know what they're from. But they are perfect. Disabled American veterans. I guess maybe do they all say that? Yeah. Disabled American veterans is what they all say. So I never seen anything like this before, but there were a ton of them, and I bought them all because I really like them. So that was a really fun find. A little bit pricey at $1 a piece for all of them, but couldn't help it. And then there was a stamp vendor who had all of his bags for 70% off, I think. So I just picked up a bunch because I like those. I bought a lot of wooden dominoes, so I want to use these as charms on junk journals. Just put a little eyelet, screw a little eyelet in there. And I found a box first, which I will get to in a little bit, and I bought that. And then I kept finding better deals on other ones, so I picked them up, even though I don't need that many. And this was a bag of just recipes, some handwritten, some cut. I'm not gonna open them up, but that's pretty fun. Let's see. I don't even know these are the vacuum tube and radio frequency stages. I just thought these papers would be fun for tags. I like the diagrams in them. From 1936 is the latest edition on that one. So this one has some water damage, but it'll be good for tags. And that's really what I plan to do with all of these. So they're all the same or similar. That's a cool diagram. And these are super cheap. I don't remember that they take the price off of them, so I don't remember what I paid for those, but they were cheap. And then let's see, this bag of tally cards. I hope I am not too, yeah, I think I'm okay. Yeah, and then they have recipes on the back. That's interesting. Never seen any like that. But again, these were a good price, so pick those up. Bought this bottle just because I like it. Has nothing to do with junk journaling. I also like to decorate with vintage things. Oh. This is Play Money. Guy had a ton of these. And it's Whitman Publishing. I've never seen Play Money like this. I'm sure some of you guys have, but I don't know. I just thought it was fun. It wasn't too expensive, so I picked up a bag of that. Different than just Monopoly money, which is what I'm used to having. So, yeah. See what we can do with that. There's a bunch of... I bought a game at a Goodwill that was... it was made by Scrabble, but it's like a 3D Scrabble. I don't know what it was called. You build up like upwards kind of, but I liked all those dice, so I bought that. And I did not bring the box home. I just took those. These are plates, obviously, but I don't know what they are. Oh yeah, I bought 3 of these, again, just for decor. It was a set of 3. I really like the hobnail trim on them, so I'm going to open all those up. They all look the same. Get it in that box. I bought this Auto Bridge game. I didn't buy it for the game. I already took these out, but it had 2 packs of the cards in there. And I've seen the metal Auto Bridge, and I've wanted to buy those before just for the cards, but they were too much. This one was $6, and it came with 2 packs of these. And the cards are what I like. They're super thin. Oh, that's a pad of them, but they are super thin, so they will work well as like collage or whatever, really. But they're fun. So I'll probably send that to Goodwill. I don't want that and don't have a need for that, but the cards I will keep. I got this little used car guide. I just, again, like the pages and the illustrations. It's from 1965. I found this box of greeting cards. They're all get well, which doesn't really matter to me. I just really like the illustrations on them, so good price for what I got. Those will look cute in journals, and that box is pretty. I got a bag of Savers stamps. I have a ton of these, and I don't use them much. I need to. I kind of forget I have them. That's what happens when you have too much stuff, but they were a good price, so I picked them up. I got this canister set. If you don't care about the decor, I'm sorry. I love this. I think it's so sweet. And they nest. So I might use them in my craft room to store something. Sorry for all the noise. But I just thought it was cute. And I found this tin of buttons. Again, I have so many buttons. I do not need more, but these were a lot of really vintagey ones in there. I'm not going to pull them all out, but there's a lot of really good ones. It's a cool buckle too. I don't know what's in that. Like little worry dolls. That's cute. But yeah, lots of cool buttons in there. That one's neat. With a few button cards too, but really got it more for the buttons that are in there themselves. Let's see. I also got this bag of really big buttons. So one thing that I think this bag was like $5, and I hemmed and hawed over it in the store, like whether I was going to get it or not. I didn't really want to pay $5 for them, but They're big, they're old, and I try to think, like, if I went into Hobby Lobby and there was a pack of charms I wanted with this many charms in it, I would easily pay $5 without second guessing myself. So that kind of sealed it for me, so I got them. With all the buttons I have, I don't have many huge ones, so that was a good buy. Got this book. It is not in English. I have no idea what it says. It was $20, but it's a ton of pages. They're super nice. It's like that. It's not the cotton paper. It's not super matte, but it's not super slick either. I don't really know how to describe it, but lots of good pages in here with a few graphs and things. But I also will use the cover for a book. So I'll make a soft spine and just use the front and back cover. It's torn there, but that's okay. So that's fun. I found a couple more books at this store. So this, I really like this guy's illustrations, and I have several of his books, but I did not have this one. So I will cut it up. I know a lot of people talk about sitting with them for a while before they cut them up, but I don't. I just cut them up. And this is a Currier and Ives book, so it's full of prints from Currier and Ives. It is, I have no idea what that says. I did not look it up beforehand, but it has tons of plates from Currier and Ives. So I thought those would be cool. I'll probably use them mostly on tags, some journal pages, I guess, but it wasn't expensive, and there's lots of good photos in there. This would make a massive journal, so I probably won't use it, but that would be a cute Christmas journal. I don't know, maybe. All right, let's see. So this is the first box of dominoes that I found and bought, and there are a ton in there, so I did not need any more, but still bought some more. That's what I do. This was a lotto game. It's the same place I got the auto bridge one. I just bought a ton of these cards from Facebook Marketplace, but this again was a good deal, and it's got, I think there's 42 cards in the game, but I also really liked the pieces. So that was a good find. I was excited about that. Again, I can't remember. I think it was like $5 maybe. It wasn't expensive. More wooden dominoes, because again, I have a problem. These are a little bit smaller. I sat on dominoes for a while, and then I just got this metal box. There's nothing in it, just like it. And it says something on top, but I couldn't figure it out in the store either. But it was cheap and I liked it. I got this massive pack of clam labels. I also have about the same amount of some vegetable peas, maybe they're put up somewhere. So I'm definitely going to put these in Etsy. I don't know if anybody has any interest in clams or peas, but these would look cool in a nautical journal, or just, you know, as vintage ephemera. So anyway, I'm going to put some in there, probably like 10 of these, 10 of the others for a couple bucks. I just have too many and I need to get rid of them. Let's see. Again, I was in Maine and I went to an estate sale. I got this magazine for $1. I didn't even look through it. It's from 1969, so that was good enough for me for $1. I did see a lot of these in antique stores for $5 each. Like, I don't know what's so special about this magazine because I don't live in Maine, but for $1 I would do. I found this was at an antique store, and it is full of patterns, like full of giant patterns. Obviously I will cut them up and use them in journals, but I just love these graphics for journal pages or on tags or whatever. These are big enough, I'll probably not be able to utilize them on tags, but it was full of them and I thought it was really cool. So I've never seen a massive box like that, so I thought that was pretty awesome. some piano paper rolls too that I didn't need because I already have a bunch to sell on Etsy. Some more kids books. These came from Goodwill. I just thought the illustrations in this one were super cute. I wish they were color, but I can deal with black and white. I love these tall board books. They're really thin board. I love the idea of using them as journal covers, making a journal this size and using this as the front and the back. And I may do that. I have a ton. There's a Richard Scarry one with a rabbit. I cannot remember what it's called right now. I'm a little rabbit or something like that. I bought a bunch of those because I love the illustrations, and that's my plan with those. It's Donald Duck, just an animal coloring book, which I really bought for the cover inside. I'm going to scan that so I have it as a digital, but I can use the coloring pages too. Animal Dictionary and Cars. I do not need any little golden books. I have so many, but when they're a good price and a decent one, I can't stop myself. This, again, at Goodwill. I really just like the edges. The pages are they're not fragile, so I mean they would be fine in a journal. They're obviously very discolored, which is fine. That's what most people like, but really the borders I thought was cute, and that's what sold me on the book. I don't have anything like that. I got this massive, this was half off because blue was half off, so a massive bundle of just the green engineering graph paper, so that was exciting. Let's see, what are you? America's Wonderland. So this came from the estate sale. So all these books were just kind of laid out and stacked up. None of them had book jackets on them, and at first I didn't know the price, so I wasn't really looking at them. Some stuff there was really overpriced, some stuff was decent, but I wasn't really looking at them. And then I figured out their pricing system, and I went back and looked, and I found some really good ones. This one was not one of the really good ones, but I thought it's not the one I thought it was. But I thought for making tags for like a travel journal, some of these images are really nice. Again, it's the glossy paper, which I don't like to write on or use as pages, but for tags in a travel journal, they would be really cool. It's just different. America's Wonderland is just different places to see in America, and it is obviously vintage. It's a National Geographic book from 1959, so it's an okay one. It wasn't my favorite one. I think this is probably my favorite one. It's Wildflowers of America. I have this book. I have purchased this book for much more than the $2 I spent on this one, so I was thrilled. This book is completely full of beautiful pictures. Now, they're big, so they're not, you're limited. I pretty much have to put them horizontal in journals, which I've talked about before is not my favorite thing to do. I don't mind doing it with text, but I don't like to do it with images. I don't know why. I just don't. I see other people do it, and it doesn't bother me at all. But when I make journals, it just bothers me for some reason. But I'm going to have to do that. These I could use on tags, but with the bigger images, I will have to use as horizontal pages, which is fine. They're beautiful. They add a lot of color, but it's completely full. I mean, it's a fantastic book. I saw someone else using it, and I purchased it from Thrift Books. Probably paid $10 or $15 for the copy that I have already. And this one was only $2, and I almost missed it because I wasn't looking to see what the books were. So pay attention. Don't be like me. I ended up getting it, so it was fine. Sorry guys, I had to get up to get a few things because I don't have it with me. I have too much stuff. This is 1954 Chilton's Motor Age, Flat Rate, and Service Manual. So it's just a huge service manual. Again, I've almost bought this at antique stores in the past for way more than the $2 I spent on this, just because I like all this. Not this part so much, but all this as backgrounds for tags or pages. I just think this makes a super nice background to work with versus a blank page or sometimes a pattern page. So I was happy to find that. And then this is a Sears catalog. I have several of these, but again, it was $2. What year is this? 1982, the year I was born. So it'll be fun to go through and kind of see what the styles were. My favorite are the toys and the furniture. But these are fun to use in journals. Like, in my travel journals, I used luggage pages from a catalog, so that's fun. Really fun to look through as well. Let's see, I gotta grab a few more things. This is the book I was thinking of. There was the other $2 book. It's Birds of America. It doesn't have a ton of pictures like the flower book does, but it does have some illustrated pictures throughout it that are super nice. Again, these pages are glossy, so I don't think I would use them in a journal, but I could use these on tags, fussy cut. But the big pictures are the ones that the color pictures are the ones I really like. So that was a good find as well that I almost missed. And then in one of the antique stores, they had this. This is massive. I didn't even fit it in the screen. It's bigger than my Tim Holtz glass mat opened up, but it's from a famous artist course. Oops, sorry, it's too big for the screen. It was $10. It is full of pages. They're thick matte paper. It's just fantastic quality paper. But there's lots of cool images in here too. Sorry guys, I keep bumping everything. But there's some fashion, like there's cartoon stuff in the back. There's some fashion stuff. There's just lots of really cool stuff. For $10, the paper alone, the paper quality alone is enough for me at $10. And then in the back, I took, this did not come with it. This was from Goodwill, but it's just some sheet music from Goodwill. Let me get this. I'm going to bump the camera again, so I apologize. I don't have a good camera setup. I need to work on that. Let's see. What else I got? I like to purchase vintage things from wherever I'm visiting. So this is a key tag from Maine. So I got that just to decorate with. I have like a little trinket shelf that I like to put that stuff on. I got the trees and the flowers guides from an antique booth. These little cards. And then I got this book just to use the cover. Again, I want to use the cover to make a journal. I had a request to show how I make the soft covered spines. I really don't have a good setup to do a tutorial, nor really the patience to do a tutorial. I don't think it will be a good one. But what I am going to do is make each stage, a completed section of each stage, and kind of talk through how I do it. The way that I don't have one on hand to show you, but the last one's where I use the embroidery thread to sew it on. That I learned that from someone else, so I will give you, Melanie Sullivan is her name. I just found it today so that I could tell you and link it in that video when I make it, but that's where I learned how to do it, and then I just kind of adjusted it for myself. I kind of made it my own in the way that I make the holes and stuff. I do it a little bit differently than her, but for the most part it's her tutorial, so I would rather her get the views for that. So whenever I do it, I will link her. This is a geography book that was just dirt cheap somewhere. I don't even know which place I got it, but nice paper, good size paper. Has a few maps in it. I have a ton of vintage atlases, so I don't need more maps either, but again, it was a good price. This one I paid a little bit more than I normally would for, so let's see. I think it was $60, $40. Hey, it's better than I thought. So I will use the cover to make a journal. It's falling apart, obviously, but it is from 1857, super old. Dictionary of English and German languages, and the paper is that like cottony paper. Oh, it's glorious. I love the font in it, and it's massive. It's completely full of that. So worth the $40 for me. Again, Julie on Camellia Crafts Design. Yeah, I think that's it. She talks about how she thinks about books, what she would spend on a paper pad. Again, so that's kind of the mindset I try to have, because when I just go and I find an old book and it's $40, I'm like, I don't know if I should spend that, but I would spend $40 on this much paper and a paper pad. So worth it when you think about it that way. My husband probably disagrees, but that's okay. Still have more stuff, guys. I just don't have room to keep it all right here. So this is another one. It's a reader, so obviously I will use the pages. I picked this one specifically because I like the colors. I have tons of readers, tons of cutouts from readers, but I love the color border on the pages. So, and I will use the cover as a journal. This one I bought for the cover. Again, it's falling apart, so they had it priced cheaper, $6. But it has cool pages in it too, and it's super old. I think it's super old. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. 1886. So yeah, super old. This is a seed catalog. Love this. 1937. I may scan some of these, but I love the fonts. I love how they, in these seed catalogs, how they use different boldness, different fonts. I don't know, it just makes it look really cool. I absolutely love this book. I think I paid like 15 bucks for it, so more than I probably should have, but I couldn't leave it behind. This, again, $1 at Goodwill. How can't go wrong with that. So I love it when I find these kind of books at Goodwill. This also at Goodwill. It's just a pattern. Thought it was cute. I've had this before, but again, just I don't need more music pages. I have a ton, but I like the little illustrations on some of them, and I like the edges too, so I'll just cut that so that I can take these out whole, and thought that was pretty cool. Need to grab some more stuff. I'm boxing myself into my desk. Sorry guys, bear with me. I can't move. This one also at Goodwill. Just thought it was cute. Has some cute illustrations. Again, don't need kids' books. I have a billion. This I got at an antique store. It is just, I mean, it's just like an old telephone book essentially. Is what it reminds me of, but it's zip codes for the whole country, which is interesting. But again, love these as backgrounds to collage on, or collage with, tag bases. Won't use them as pages in journals, but they're great for tag bases especially. So I might put together some bundles on Etsy of different pages that I use for things like that, because I have way too many, more than I will ever use. All right, I think this is the last box. So I bought a lot of vintage sheets. I love vintage sheets. If they're a good price, I cannot pass them up. I have way too many, but it hasn't stopped me. So these 2 sheets, pillowcases, more pillowcases. That all came from Goodwill. And then if you guys like vintage sheets, I have a lot in my Etsy shop. Nowhere near all that I have. I need to cut some more up. I just haven't gotten around to it, but this still in package, 12 bucks. Easily 20-25 bucks online. I have bought plenty in package online, so that was a great find. And then this one is also in package. It's just pink, but I think I paid like 6 bucks for it, and I can't get that much fabric for 6 bucks, and it's a pretty pink. So I won't sell this one as a vintage sheet. I will actually use the fabric, but I love that. I got this bundle of fabric, which reminds me of, it's not obviously feed sack, but the pattern reminds me of feed sack, which is why I got it. I like the vintagey looking prints. Let's see if we can figure out who it's from. The selvage does not have anything on it, but I think I paid like 3 bucks. It's like 4 yards of fabric, I think is what it said, so good deal there. That's not anything you guys care about. At the estate sale, there was a big bin of just cut fabrics. It had a bunch in it. I think it was about $3 for the whole thing. I didn't care about most of it, so I didn't even bring it with me. I just donated it back. But what I wanted was these little Holly Hobby apple cutouts. So there's a bunch of them. Oh, and there's different ones. That's what got me. So I love Holly Hobby, so I picked that up. It also had this. I kept these little nautical pieces too. Just, I mean, they're already fussy cut, so those would be easy to use in a journal. Somebody did the work for me, which is nice. I got this bundle of fabric. It's 2 yards. I'm not going to open it up, but I just thought the print was pretty. So I love fabric. It's a problem. I got at that estate sale as well. There was a big bin of matchbooks. I have a bunch of matchbooks, but they're all from the Myrtle Beach area, which is near where I live. So these are all from places in Maine or around the country, which was super exciting. These are so cute. They're Christmas. They don't even have an advertisement. They say they're from Universal Match Corporation in St. Louis, but they don't have LBJ for the USA. That's awesome. I love them, and I have used some in my travel journals. I did use some where I put them across as a belly band. So that's a good use in a journal. You can just use them as decoration, whatever, but they're fun to look through. Grandma's Molasses. I have not gone through them yet, but it was a really good deal on them. In some antique stores, I don't know how much you guys go in antique stores, but in some antique stores, they try to sell them for, I've seen them up to like $5 a piece per matchbook, which is insane. I think I paid $3 for the bin of all these matches, so happy to do that. There's another Christmas one, so really cool. I got this book of, I guess it's French. Yeah, French. But it's fun. I have a lot of foreign language books as well, but this one had fun illustrations in it, so I'm assuming it's for younger kids maybe because of the illustrations, but maybe not. I thought it was awesome though. This is Madame Bovary. I bought it for the cover, but I guess copyright's 1857. The dedication is dated 1857. That's the only date I have, but these would be great journal pages or whatever, but the cover I will make a journal out of. I got more buttons because I wish I could show you guys all the buttons I have. But again, lots of vintage ones in there. I kind of buy whatever buttons I see. They don't have to be vintage, but when I see a good deal on vintage ones, I will pick them up. That green one's beautiful. Again, I like to use these as charms on journals. I like to use them as decoration in journals. I have an idea for using some on covers, which I'm really excited about. It's going to take time, so I don't know when I'll get to that. And then this I bought for me. I'm not going to cut this up. It's just the vintage quilt. It is not hand stitched, it's machine stitched, and I can't tell. Some of these really feel like feed sack. They definitely are feed sack prints, and some of them really feel like feed sack. They don't feel like modern fabrics, but it is not, again, it's not hand stitched. It is machine done, but it's beautiful, and I'm just going to use it for myself because I love it. My husband is not a fan of vintage things, so I'm sure he will love it being my couch blanket, but that's what it's going to be. I just got to wash it up. So anyway, that is mostly all the vintage stuff that I have. Actually, there's one more thing. Let me grab it. When I was at one of the Goodwills, I found this, and I'm not a teacher. Very thankful for teachers. I'm not one. This is for teachers, but it is full of these things, which I won't use, but there's a bunch that are just like this. I can cover this. This is perfect. It's a perfect base for tags or inserts or whatever. So again, I think blue was, oh no, it was $4. It wasn't half off, but still all this material to use as bases. And whatever I don't use, I will give back to Goodwill because that's what I do. But there's tons in here, and a lot of them are, I mean, I could cut that in half. I don't think I would use it like that, but if I cut it here, I'd still have that flip to decorate. These can just be journal card bases. Tons in there. I, again, hemmed and hawed about it. Couldn't decide if I was going to get it. Finally just decided it would be worth it. So, I also have a kid going into 1st grade, so I could probably utilize it, but again, I'm not a good teacher, so probably not a good idea. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. This is my first haul video, so sorry if it's poorly done or if things are out of frame. I know this is too big for the frame. But I had fun going through everything. Hope you had fun watching. I am working on getting some new stuff in my Etsy shop. I am working on some digitals. I have some postage stamps to put in. I have some piano rolls to put in. I really have lots of things. Oh, I bought a ton of vintage sewing patterns from the 60s and 70s, like a ton, well over 100, that I've got to go through, figure out what I'm going to keep, but I'm going to put those in Etsy, hopefully for pretty cheap. I got a good deal on them, and I just don't need them all, so I will pass that on. So look for those coming up if you're interested. I will link my Etsy shop below. But again, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys and all the new subscribers that I've been getting. My Alice in Wonderland journals are still in the shop. It's actually opened back up a little bit early. So if you're interested in those, take a look. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. Thanks. Bye-bye.